Alright, hello friends, and we are back. Today I was reteaching myself how to do something not that complicated but a little advanced in Dwarf Fortress, and that is to set up special meeting areas. Today, what you're looking at, we're going to be building a library. And actually, since I took this recording, I've also started building a tavern right next to it. So libraries, taverns, guild halls, I think there's one that I'm forgetting, and maybe one of these screens will show it. But these are special meeting areas that allow for special professions and special activities. So let's just start with the library, for example. And I'm checking, so these are work orders to create books. As you can see, put plant slurry into paper sheets, make book bindings, make bookcases. In this video, I forget a few things that I need to also make. So if you want to make books, you need bookcases to hold the books. You need to take plant material and turn it into a slurry. You need to separately take that slurry and press it into paper sheets. From there, you can make, let me look at my notes, they're called quires, Q-U-I-R-E. I think I'm saying it right. And apparently this is actually a reference to like medieval books. It was like just a simple folded paper booklet. And so you need to make those. At that point, the dwarves that you assign to be scholars in your library can write on the quires, and then that becomes like a manuscript of a book, basically. This is my vampire mayor that we were just looking at. He is walled up and separate, right there on the screen. Now he's gone. So everyone's working to get this library dug out of the earth and get it ready. We're also going to be placing some bookcases and getting the book process ready. So where was I? After a scholar writes in a quire, a scribe can take that quire and apply a book binding, and now you finally have a book on a bookcase. Your fortress has written a book. And scholars will be attracted to libraries, artists will be attracted to taverns. Let me tell you how to set one of these up while I'm here. So any open space you can set as a zone with I. I is just right there. Hit I on your keyboard, that will open up the zones. And you can create a pit, a pond, a garbage dump, a fruit picking area, all kinds of things, a fishing zone. It's pretty necessary to learn your I menu. But then inside the I menu, you can hit M. I believe, no, after you hit M, there it is on the screen, meeting area, M for meeting area. And from there, you can hit L to designate a special location, L for location. And the special locations, there you have it, in tavern, library, temple, or guild hall, a craft guild hall. And so in this case, I actually make a mistake here, and I set this as a tavern initially, and it takes me a minute to realize what's wrong. I even name it library, even though it's a tavern, but then I fix that. And you'll see next time you see my fortress that I actually have a tavern set up right next to it. They're both already attracting traveling scholars, elves and humans are coming to visit, traveling artists, performers. I do have a few guilds in this fortress. It's about 160 dwarves strong, so I do need some guild halls too, but I'll be setting all of that up. And this is still me troubleshooting, realizing that I have the meeting area. The crystalline olive is going away. That's going to be replaced with something, I forget what it's called. The names are all procedurally generated. And see, this is where I realized, because now in this menu you can assign tavern keepers and performers, but I'm in trouble because I don't want this to be a tavern, I want it to be a library. I've already set my dwarves to setting up the book bindings and things like that. And I think by the end of this video you will see I start to put some chairs and some tables for studying in there. I set up some ornaments so that when dwarves pass in, they have a good impression that improves their mood. Here, now I'm retiring it. This is no longer a tavern to be, and it's going to be reset as a library. Temples also are something that I should set up because, as I've mentioned in DF Hack, I use a dwarf psychiatrist, and that really helps dwarves not go berserk with dissatisfaction. They don't go crazy. They don't get too depressed. They're all in a pretty good mood because of dwarf psychiatrist. But one thing that really bothers them is when they can't pray to the deities that they prefer. And so I should start building temples to the favorite local deities of this fortress. What else was I going to say? Oh, my vampire mayor in the walls is the only exception. I cannot rouse him out of his deep depression because he has been walled up for years. He started drinking blood at night, and he killed my citizens, so I had to wall him up. But because he's an immortal vampire who has studied charm, my dwarves keep voting him mayor. And so he is a dwarf of great respect. He has not contacted any other dwarves in years now in this map. And I've tried to... I actually brought him a pickaxe, and I instructed him to build his own interesting little fortress inside my fortress. And then, maybe like if I have more vampires, they could have their own little community in there. But he has gone so long without talking to another dwarf, and so long without drinking alcohol, which, as you know, even with vampire dwarves, very important to them, biologically relevant. He's immortal, and so he won't die from not, or become delirious from not drinking alcohol, but it does depress him. It's complicated because as I was researching vampires, I found out that a vampire will accept a drink given to them from a tavern keeper, but they will not drink themselves. So it's complicated. He's in a bad mood because I have him walled up. That's the long and short of it. He's imprisoned because he's a bad vampire. He drinks too much blood, and he's not in a good mood about it. But Dwarf Psychiatrist has helped all of the rest of them get through all the weird situations I create. Now you can see the library is dug out along that top wall. Those kind of golden blocks, those are actually the first bookcases being set up. Again, so the way it works is plants into slurry, slurry into pages, pages into quires, quires getting written on by scholars, and then scribes turn those into books. Those go on the bookcases. I am running out of time. Thank you for joining me as always, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.